Hey there, I'm Lena Elkins, head coach and trainer at Lena Elkins Coaching. Welcome to Unfiltered, where we talk about real business, real marketing, and real transformation. This podcast is created for aspiring and growing online entrepreneurs who are investing their own capital, their own time, and their own energy into transforming their lives and companies, and are on a mission to multiply their income, influence, and impact fast. Welcome to Unfiltered, and I hope you love the episode. Hey there, Lena Elkins here, head coach and trainer at LEC. I hope you guys are having an incredible day. Here in Tel Aviv, it is 100 degrees already. I'm recording this in May. It's already 100 degrees, and we just got back from doing some errands, and I'm like, I am never ever leaving my apartment again. It is a little too much for me, but I hope that you guys are doing awesome. And I'm super excited for today's podcast because what we're going to be talking about is what it takes to start an online business. Is an online business, and is this model cut out for you? Okay. Are you right for the online business model? And the reason why I wanted to talk about this today is because it's such a common question that I get. People telling me, well, Lena, I really like the idea. I like the idea of being my own boss. The concept sounds amazing, but I just don't know if I'm cut out for it. And I think with so much online information today about what it takes and who it's for and whatever, it's a little bit confusing and overwhelming and intimidating as people start to think about the amount of work and the amount of stress that might go into building a business. So I actually want to talk through that with you guys and tell you what I think are the real skill sets or quote unquote, personality types that it takes to really, really thrive in business. Now, the first thing that I want to say is all of the different things that I'm going to be listing out today. I don't believe that just because you don't have those skill sets or that mentality or that personality type today means that you can't become that or you can't gain those skills. I think one of the biggest problems today with especially my generation, millennials, being so obsessed with different kinds of personality tests and Myers-Briggs and all that stuff is because it feels good to put ourselves into a box, right? Like, this is who I am, this is what I stand for, and it all makes sense now. There are other people like me. But I think that the problem with that is it implies that you can't change. This is just who you are, and it's set in stone, and, take it or leave it, basically, right? And I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that because I look at my own journey. I see how many new skill sets and how many big mindset shifts and pieces of my personality that I might have had to alter or improve a little bit in order to continually succeed, right? And I know that what got me from 0 to 50 is a very different skill set and mentality than what got me from 50 to 100. Now, did that mean that I just couldn't do it because I didn't have the current skills or ideas then? No, it just meant that I had to develop them. So I don't want you guys, as you hear these different points that I'm going to be laying out, to think, well, okay, right away, black and white, I don't have that, I'm going to give up. It's not for me. All of these things can be developed, okay? So I want you guys to keep that in mind. And the second thing that I want to say is when people ask, is online business right for me? There are 1,000,001 ways to start and successfully have an online business today. There are so many different models. Of course, you could take the route that I took, which is primarily in coaching and consulting. So that's one-on-one work. That's also group coaching work, mastermind work, and also course creation. But you could also get into Amazon selling, right? Drop shipping, e-commerce. You could start a marketing agency, something that's more direct service-based. So there are so many different online businesses that you can start today, and they all require, in my experience, different skill sets and different ideas. A lot of the underlying stuff is the same, but the reason why I want to share that with you is because there are so many ways to make money online today. I don't want you guys to think that as I lay this out for you, I'm just talking about online coaching, okay? There are so many different ways and styles and structures that you can build your online empire today. It's just a matter of seeing what really lights you up inside, what gets you excited, and what you think ultimately aligns with, your interests and your passions. And for me, I love coaching so much. It's so super fun for me all day, day in and day out. And marketing is so fun for me that it all works out. I feel so good about it that I'm happy to continue getting better for it and stretching and growing and challenging myself within it, even when it is uncomfortable. So it's about finding something that really excites you on a daily basis. Doesn't mean that everything is like rainbows and daisies all the time, but finding something that excites you, that draws you in every single day. And that's how you're going to continue to get better. So with that, let's just get right into it. The first thing that it takes to know if you are cut out for online business is you have to be willing to let go of the idea of stability and gain the idea of infinity. Okay, I'm going to say that one more time. You have to be willing to let go of the idea of stability and gain the idea of infinity. And what I mean by that is that for most of us, being raised from ages 5 years old in kindergarten, we were taught that stable equals good, that consistent equals good. And when we leave our lives like that, we steer away from and we fear every little thing that might negate that idea of stability. And this is our brain's own way of protecting us. Ultimately, in human nature, we want stability, we want safety. But the problem is that when that idea translates and that value and priority of stability translates into online business, you're going to get freaked out and you're going to give up fast. So the idea is to switch out the value of stability and fill it in with infinity, which is the idea is with online entrepreneurship, you just don't have the opportunity of stability, but you have the opportunity for unlimited results, for unlimited money. There is no cap. It's not the same as going to a 9-to-5 job and knowing that every hour you're getting paid a certain amount, or knowing that every month you're getting paid a certain amount. Okay, so it's being willing to risk that stable set amount in order to gain so much more on your own terms. You have to be more excited for the idea of infinity than you are for the idea of stability. And that is the first thing that you need to shift, is starting to really think. And if you're in the process of making this mindset shift, what I recommend that you do to get started is really think about, what does infinity mean to you? Right? Having unlimited, what does that look like for you? What does your dream lifestyle look like? What does your dream business look like? And I really challenge you to get specific about this, whether for you that's via journaling or through creating a vision board of some sort. Get clear on what that life looks like. What does that unlimited life look for you? And when you're able to visualize that, the power of visualization is just amazing. When you really start to visualize and internalize that future life, you're going to get so excited that stability is suddenly going to seem so boring and so limiting, right? So that's the first thing. You guys have to let go of the idea of stability and gain the idea of infinity. Now, the second thing that you absolutely have to do, or you have to have, is you have to be willing to put other people's opinions and ideas about you and your life to the side. And instead of listening to the conventional people that you might turn to for advice and feedback, maybe it's your parents, maybe it's your partner, maybe it's your close friends, your coworkers, colleagues, you have to put their opinions to the side and begin to solely listen to the people who have already done it before you. Okay, so they say that you become the average of the 5 people who you spend the most time with. So what that means is that if you're surrounding yourself and really taking in the ideas of people who doubt your ability or anyone's ability to start a business, people who are living in scarcity mindset, right? People who are fearful that if they spend too much here, or they put too much energy here, whatever, there's just never enough of anything for them in their lives. What that means is those people are also going to be judging you as you try something different, okay? As you begin to think bigger, those people are often going to judge you. And what's crazy is that so many people quit or give up on their entrepreneurial dreams solely because of that, solely because they are fearful or they feel really judged by other people's opinions. That's what holds them back. So what you have to realize is that everyone's brains are different. Everyone's going to have different ideas about what's right and wrong. But ultimately, none of it is actually right and wrong. They're just ideas. They're just thoughts that we have in our head, right? So what your job is to realize that. Stop taking it so seriously, and you create your own truth. You create what you decide you want to do. You create what's right for you, regardless of anyone else's judgments or ideas. But the way that you can really start solidifying those ideas around starting your business is by surrounding yourself by those who are already thriving in that space, people who already believe in that industry, people who challenge you to think bigger, to do bigger. That is one of the fastest ways to grow, you guys, is to surround yourself with the right people. So again, you have to learn to put irrelevant people's opinions to the side, stop accepting their judgments as truth, and begin really listening to and looking up to the people who have already done it before you. The third thing to know if you want to be cut out for online business is you have to adopt patience. Okay, you have to adopt patience. If you are not already a patient person, this is something that you have to change about yourself. And for myself, I never felt like I was a patient person growing up. I always wanted whatever it was right here, right now. I wanted the test score back today, not next week. That's always who I was. And so when I first got into online business, I thought immediately I would just be thriving within a blink of an eye. And guess what? That didn't happen. Most people will get frustrated in that position, and they get so frustrated that they ultimately just get burnt out and they quit. But online business, what they say and what I really believe too, it typically takes 3 times as long and is 3 times as expensive as you ever think that it will take in order to reach your business goals. Now, that doesn't mean anything, right? There's no judgment on that. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just my experience. And so instead of judging yourself and thinking that you have to be making a ton of money faster or you should be building your list so much faster, don't worry about it. Instead of fighting the waves, learn to ride the waves of entrepreneurship because there are always ups and downs. And as you grow and as you make more money, guess what? Those problems and that stress and those ups and downs, they're not going to go away. They're just going to be different stresses and different ups and downs, right? And bigger challenges. So that's really all that it means. You have to learn to see the waves as your friend and always know that when you're feeling stressed, that when you're feeling overwhelmed, that when you think nothing is working and you're really starting to break down, take that as a sign that something massively amazing and life-changing is going to happen. It is coming to you right around the corner. Okay, that's always, always, always what I see. Whenever I'm feeling a lot of tension within my mind, within my body, something in business, I know it's because something is building and I know that something huge is about to explode. Okay, things always go back up. So you have to accept that patience and you have to really put in the time. I think that one of the problems with online entrepreneurship today is that there's a lot of entitlement. There's a lot of these ideas where I see everybody else, online making, $100,000 a month in their first month of launching business. Why isn't that happening to me? You have to be willing to put in the work and put in the time like anything else. Sure, there are shortcuts. Sure, you can cut the line in some places. But for the most part, it's like getting amazing and really succeeding at anything else in life, right? You can't learn an instrument overnight. You can't become an amazing, player in some kind of sport overnight. You can't lose 100 pounds overnight. So why would you expect to make 100 grand or even 10 grand overnight? So you have to be willing to put in the time, ride the waves, and not make that mean anything about yourself, okay? The last thing that I want to share to know that you should know if online business is right for you, you have to let go of the excuse making. You have to let go of it. We are so used to it today in society that people love talking about what's wrong with them, why they don't have something, why the world's out to get them, why they are this big victim, right? Why it didn't work out for them because of all of these external circumstances that are going on. And when you're constantly worrying and stressing and talking and complaining and doing all of that in your business, you're putting a lot of energy into that instead of energy into actual activities that are going to generate you real results and real money. If you took real ownership and responsibility for where you are right now and say that everything that's happened along my journey is because of me, that's going to empower you. Okay, it's not going to disempower you. It's going to empower you and show you that if it's 100% up to you, if you have 100% responsibility without excuses, then you can do anything. And that's where this idea of massive action comes into play. I talk a lot about massive action in different areas of my online marketing and my blog, whatever. And maybe I'll do a whole episode just on that if that interests you guys. But massive action is the idea that if you have not achieved a particular goal yet, doesn't matter what that goal is in your life, it could be a business goal, it could be weight loss, it could be to find the right partner for you, right? If you have not achieved that goal yet, it is for one reason and one reason only, and that is because you and you alone have not taken the necessary steps to get there, period. It is not because of what somebody else said or what the bank did or some interaction you had last week, or even how many people have told you no, or how many people have told you that you're too expensive. None of that matters. The only reason that you have not reached your goal is because you have not taken enough steps. And when you start taking more and more and more steps, you know that you're doing everything that you can. It doesn't mean that you quit when you get tired, or you get lonely, or you get stressed, or you get insecure, or when you're just complaining. You quit when you reach the goal. You do not quit until you reach the goal. That's it. And when you look at that, there is no failing, right? There is no need for stress, because you just keep taking action and keep taking responsibility for every single action until you get there, period. So these are the 4 core skill sets and shifts that you have to make to know if online business is right for you. If you want to be cut out for this, this is what you have to do. So running through those one more time. You have to be willing to let go of the idea of stability and gain the idea of infinity. You have to put most people's opinions to the side and their judgment to the side, and instead start tuning in to what people who have already done it are saying. You have to gain the skill of patience, be willing to put in the time, and you ultimately have to let go of the excuses and take 100% ownership and responsibility for everything that happens in your life. And again, you guys, these are all things that can be developed. These are all things that you can change. These are not set in stone. In fact, most of these are skills that I had to develop myself in order to get to the next level. So with that, love you guys a lot. Hope you have an awesome day. I am rooting for you as always, and I'll talk to you next time.